Good evening. Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Das. How are you? This is Nirupam Chaudhuri.
I am fine. Yes, I can understand. You are Nirupam Chaudhuri, and Mr. Sachin Thakkar is also there.
Yes, and
Ashay.
Anshuman Bhattacharya is founder of CBI. He has also joined, I can see.
Okay, Anshuman has joined.
And Sanjoy, Chatterjee and Atul Agarwal, both of them shall also join pretty soon.
All right. So today our dean, our president of this IIC, he has taken ill, but he said that if he feels well, that he will join. And now and our director is also out of station, but our acting director in charge, Professor Shudip Rai, he said he will join. Welcome, Sanjoy.
Hi, Sanjoy. Good evening.
Now, so I would also welcome Amitava here. He's also one of the speakers. Amitava and Sanjoy are all alumni of this institute. And now we will start straight on because you are hard up on the time. And I welcome all our students. I hope this is one of a new type of session where we are trying to pose some strategic problems which hopefully or willfully the students can solve, and maybe you'll be in for a delight. You can get it at no cost. Let us hope for the best, keeping huge faith on the Indian brains. Now, I would ask Nirupam to start, please, and the session. So we are having it, our anchors. Shorbesh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Marlene would start.
Yeah,
Marlene?
Please start. So whoever is there, please start.
Yeah, Marlene?
Yes.
Sir, Olibondo also joined. He is our alumni.
Oh, yes. I forgot. I will just, of course, introduce him. It is Onibondo Mukhopadhyay. I think he's there. Okay. So he's the senior general manager of Sun Pharma. So welcome to this fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let us start. Okay. Shorbesh, please start.
Marlene?
This way. Wishing all the dignitaries and listeners present here a very good evening. My name is Mal Maria Roy. I'm from Kerala and is a current second-year civil engineering student at IIC Shipur. We have gathered here today to be a part of the online event entitled Session on Achieving Problem Solution Fit and Product Market Fit, organized by IIC 4.0 in collaboration with EDC and TCGTBI. The session aimed towards building an innovation or product fit for the market and integrating the market research at the early stages of startup planning, has a few distinguished leaders well known for their work from NASSCOM ecosystem and from MSME ecosystem, present here to help us elucidate this matter. Introducing the speakers present here, we have Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri, the Regional Director at East NASSCOM, Mr. Amitava Banerjee, CEO at B3, Brain Behind Brand, Mr. Sanjoy Chatterjee, Director of the Board and CTO, Ideation Technology Solutions Private Limited, Mr. Atul P. Agarwal, Director at App Software Avenues Private Limited, Mr. Sachin Thakkar, Director at AAA Solutions Private Limited, Mr. Anshuman Bhattacharya, CEO at City Analytics and Consulting Services Private Limited, and finally, Mr. Anirbandha Mukhopadhyay, Senior General Manager at Sun Pharma Limited. With great pleasure, I welcome you all to the session. Professor Parthasarathi Chakrabarti, the Honorable Director of IIC Shipur, has kindly consented to inaugurate the event. With great honor on behalf of the organizers and everyone gathered here, I welcome and invite you, sir, to inaugurate the event.
Okay, Marlene, very sorry, Professor Partha Sharathi Chakraborty is out of station. So we will start off with Mr. Chaudhuri, Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri. So Marlene could please announce a brief biodata and then we can start.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Good evening.
Okay, please start.
Inviting the acting director Sudhir Kumar Roy for the inauguration.
Actually, Marlene, hold a second. Thank you, ma'am. At this moment, I would like to invite Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri, who has specializations in the field of market intelligence, primary research, technology assessment, competitive and strategic market analysis, product planning and positioning, alongside many other, and has worked as an analyst and consultant with over 50 established and emerging IT and communications companies. And he plays a role in the growth and development of the software and IT services engagement. A regular participant in industry events in Asia Pacific region and has participated as speakers in different events by industry associations like NASSCOM, FICCI, ICC, MAIT, and CII, and has been widely quoted by leading trade and business publications such as Economic Times, CXO Today, DataQuest, Network Magazine, Business Standard, Channel Times, and similar, and many more. I would like to invite Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri, sir, Regional Director of East NASSCOM, to please elucidate us with his words. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, and a very good evening to all of you. This is definitely very interesting session, and we really look forward to have a fantastic interaction with you all. And it's our privilege, to be part of such a program. When Sanjoy Chatterjee was director and board of Ideation, he's also the present chairman of the Eastern Region Council of NASSCOM. He mentioned this particular event to me. I got very excited. In fact, after that, Dr. Das wrote to us, and we reached out to a few leaders from our community, from respective fields of specialization. Like, for example, Sanjoy comes from strictly a product and a services background, and very interesting works he has done. We have also Anshuman Bhattacharya was from the field of analytics, and we would request him, to explain a couple of case studies and also some problem statements which you can put forward from that particular field. Also, we have Sachin Thakkar, who represents the product community. He's a seasoned leader from AAA Solutions. He's the founder of AAA Solutions, and we would look forward to a couple of very interesting cases that he can give to students from that particular field. And also we have Mr. Atul Agarwal, who's not has joined the meeting as yet, but he's a very seasoned leader from the Eastern ecosystem, and he's director of APT Software, and he was the past chairman of NASSCOM, and we have requested him to basically present a couple of interesting cases and problem statements from the field of IoT or industry or IIoT. So maybe automated cars or something that he would like to present. So it is a very interesting arrangement. Just couple of lines, couple of notes from my side. NASSCOM predominantly has always been trying to support such kind of ideathons or hackathons or codeathons, as we want to call it, where we put forward live problem statements which students come forward to come and solve. It could be either purely technical, like coding and solving a problem statement from the field of security, or trying to do something purely technical, or it could be ideathon where students come forward with certain problem statements which could be solved in a mixed fashion. Like it could be part technical, part business problem solving. It could be development of an app which can be utilized by the community. It could be a B2B platform or a B2C form, whatever form it is. So the idea is that it is always good to have students engage as much as possible to know what the industry wants, so that when they join the industry and when they actually join the ecosystem to be part of the corporate, it becomes much easier for them, and that bend of mind really helps. And from NASSCOM, we also always support not just employability but also entrepreneurship. We would like many of our students who are joining the industry from campus. if they have a dream of their own, if they want to pursue their dream of actually building something on their own, be it a product, be it a service, and try to solve a social problem or a problem of consumers or enterprises, they should do so, and we try to encourage them. We also have a very interesting, support from government. With support from government of West Bengal, in Kolkata we have a startup incubator, and you'll be very glad to know that in the last 6 years we have got more than 600 plus applications from various, small businesses, startups. They've come forward and applied to us, and we have incubated more than 150 such startups in varied fields, right? From health tech to fintech to edutech, several areas. And some of them have done very good name for themselves and are in different parts, solving problems for not only for Indian companies, but also many global concerns. So this is really exciting for us. What I would request is 4 of our leaders, as I mentioned, would basically brief the students on their case studies, as well as mention some problem statements which they can take up. For which I'd requested Dr. Pal that if required, if someone wants to present a couple of slides, maybe please give them access so that they could present, have the presentation access. And of course, I've requested all of them to be, stay within the time limit of 10 minutes, because we understand this is a brief session, and in an online platform, we don't have the liberty of extending a session too long. It becomes a bit tedious at times. So basically, we'd request attention of all the students. I really look forward to interact with you all. And if you have questions, feel free to open up after each of the leaders present their thoughts and also the problem statements. If you're not clear, feel free to ask those questions. And definitely, I see a very fruitful, going forward, I see a fruitful conclusion to this particular event if we see certain solutions coming across. So all the best to all of you. And the sequence we'd follow is, because Atulji is going to join a bit late and Sachin has as a hard stop. So I will request the sequence like this: Mr. Sachin Thakkar to start off from NASSCOM side, followed by Anshuman Bhattacharya from CBA, then followed by Sanjoy Chatterjee from Ideation, and then Atul Agarwal from APT in whatever format. And we understand that the sequence breaks down with some MSME presentation also from other sectors. So we are absolutely okay with this. But this is a sequence from NASSCOM leaders that we shall follow. All the best to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I would like to invite Mr. Sachin Thakkar, sir, who is an alumnus of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and he is a chief enabler at AAA Solutions Private Limited, and he had for over a decade successfully helped India's largest companies manage their retirement trust and assisted them to attain their business objectives through software solutions and services. And AAA Solutions Private Limited also provides outsourcing services for retrieval fund management and payroll processes. Sachin Thakkar, sir, please illustrate us with your kind words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sachindra. We have a common name, Sachin. You share that name with me. Namaskar and good evening to everyone. Thank you, Nirupam. Thank you, Dr. Das, for inviting me for this interactive session. And hello to all the young friends who are there. So I have just 10 to 12 minutes to deliver what I want. I'll divide it into 3 parts. One is I'll share my experience in very brief, how I started my business and what I am up to. And then a little bit of theory, and then we'll come to the problem statements. So I was working with an investment banking firm selling financial securities to large corporates, basically retirement benefit funds. Retirement benefit funds are the funds which are created to take care of your retirements. So the provident fund, superannuation fund, and gratuity funds. So I was dealing with these funds, and I was selling securities where I found out that there was a gap in the way they were managing the funds, maintaining the data. there was no record. This was in 2005, mind you. So they were maintaining certain things on Excel, certain things on legacy software, etc. And I found out that for months they were not able to track their cash flows on which date what amount is going to come. So I just thought that there were many such corporate clients in India. So if I could come up with some product which might help them, and definitely will help them save crores of rupees in loss of interest that they had. So I checked with few of my clients and spoke to them. I said, if I do something like that, do you think it will work? They said, yes, we definitely require it. It is all in mess. So if you are able to bring up something, I was still in my job. So I collaborated with one. I was not a technical guy. Okay, I am from a financial and marketing background. This is important to be told here because you are all techies. Okay. However, now I head a technology company, so I collaborated with one technical person, a developer, and I told him that this is the problem area. We need to find a solution. Will you be able to help me with this? He said, yes, I can develop a software. I gave him the idea. I gave him the domain expertise, and he developed something in a month's time. I was still in my job. I showed that to the clients with whom I was interacting. So they said, yes, this is kind of shaping up. Okay. The developer used to come and deliver the software on Sunday morning. On Sunday evening, I used to call my clients for a cup of tea. This happened for 3-4 months. And most of the clients who came and saw the software said, yes, boss, this is something which we want. Maybe you can improve upon it later on going forward. So then I took that plunge. I thought that with this software put in a CD, I'll be able to sell it across India. So with that conviction, I jumped. I left my job. I started AAA Solutions Private Limited. The name of the product was Providence. And it all started initially, whosoever promised me that we are going to give you business were not able to give me business. For 1 full year, there was no business. And therefore, it was a very troubled period, the first year. However, I was persevering. I didn't left the cause. I know there's a market there, there's a requirement, and I'm trying to solve a real problem that corporates face. Therefore, I stayed on. And after 1 full year, I got my first client, and then the second and the third. Those 2, 3, 4 initial clients are there with us till today. And that was the turning point. Those clients gave us that confidence that, yes, you are on the right path and we will use your product. They gave their inputs. The product was just 2 to 3% of what it is now. The product has graduated, post-graduated, and now come to a completely different platform altogether from where we started. And then we never looked back. Today we have around 150 plus corporate clients, around 15 lakh employees. PF is being managed on our application, and around 50,000 crore of the retirement benefit funds are being managed through our application. Our application has also been appreciated by EPFO. EPFO is the nodal agency in our country, Employees Provident Fund Organization, who basically manages the PF of almost 2 crore employees who are working in India. Okay, so they have also appreciated our product. So with that background, we are based out of Kolkata, but we are catering to clients in around 30 cities all over India. Okay, now with that background, let me put certain learnings that I had during this journey. I think that is also important while we give you a problem statement. Problem statement, it will take 1 minute for me to give you the problem statement. But what were the learnings which perhaps you can inculcate going forward were these. You have to find a real problem for a real solution. Mind you, 40 to 50% of the startups fail because the idea that they had started with had no market need. They started with something because they liked it. They were fascinated with something. They were fascinated with some kind of a technology with which they wanted to experiment, and they thought that there will be a market because it looks good to you. So while that can be a starting point, but please, I repeat, find a real solution for a real problem. Okay, you need to find a real solution for a real problem. Don't imagine problems. Go and talk to people. For example, you are attending today's session. I'm sure in your entire career you will be attending many more such sessions. Interact with people. Go and talk to people. Who knows who can be your customer or who can throw up some ideas to you. Okay, so that's the first thing. Build a proof of concept. While you are also, if you have identified a problem and you've tried to find the solution, please develop some proof of concept. Because when you go and talk to people, they are not just going to listen to your idea. They're going to see some kind of a POC which you can show them. Once you get some recognition in that POC and then people say, yes, kuch acha lagta hai, I think you can look at it. You need to develop a prototype which works, which is a workable solution. Okay, and then you come up with a viable product, basically. Right? Now, 5 important things I would like all of you to remember, which is whenever you start with any idea, have a real solution to a real problem, number 1. Get 1 or 2 people closely associated with you who you feel also believe in your philosophy or your idea. Get your 3 to 5 clients, initial 3 to 5 clients at the earliest, because these are the clients who will actually be with you for almost lifelong if you serve them well. Don't look at the money factor initially. You have to serve these 3 to 5 clients, make them happy, give them what they want, and then you will see they will stand with you throughout your journey. 4th, most important, is that never lose faith in yourself. There'll be situations, okay, where you will get discouraged. There'll be situations when people around will tell you that boss nahi hoga tumse, chhod do, tumne 2 mahina try kiya, this is not your ball game. There are people who are going to tell you that you are from a service background. Your father, your mother, your grandfather were all into service. Why have you gone into business? Boss, not your cup of tea. Chhod do. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged, because I have had n number of situations where I could have taken up a job or a lucrative job. And let me tell you, all my peers, all my batchmates may be earning more than me. Okay. And at that point of time, they were all, in fact, doing quite well. I was 5-6 years into my career. When I started my career, it was 2000. So I had all these things to face. And every one of you will have when you start your business. So never lose faith. Don't get discouraged. And the last part, once you have taken care of the first 4 part, last part, as you build up your business, even if it is a 1 year or a 2-year-old business, you'll have stakeholders around your organization. You will have employees, you will have employees' family, you will have the government, you will have the vendors from whom you are sourcing. Ensure that you take care of them. I'm telling you these things in 5 fingers because it will be easy for you to remember rather than any long presentation. So a real solution to a real problem, 1 or 2 or 3 close associates who believe in your idea. Initial 3 to 5 clients, acquire them as early as possible and delight them to the core. 4th, never lose faith in yourself. Don't get discouraged. There'll be n number of situations where you'll feel nahi chhod dete, but don't quit. And the last part is, as you build your ecosystem, ensure that you take care of all the stakeholders who are with you. Okay. Now, those were my learnings from my experience over the last 15 years. And there are a couple of problem statements that I would like to mention here. Not that these problem statements were not addressed earlier or is not being worked upon, but what I want is an innovative thinking on this. The first thing is a parking problem. If you see any major cities, you find a problem when you want to park your car. So I want three things. As a common man, I face this problem. I want to know where a parking lot is. If you want, you can note this down. One, I want to know where the parking lot is. Second, where there is a no parking area. I know there are hoardings or boards across, it says no parking. But in a lot of places, when we park, we see there's no hoarding, there's no board, but yet the police comes and asks that, boss, this is not the area you were supposed to park. So I want a parking lot, a no parking lot. And at times, I know there's a parking across these couple of streets, but then I have to move around looking for an empty space. So the third part is I want to know exactly at that moment, where is that empty space for parking available, so that I straight away go to that place. Okay, looks very simple. There are challenges. There could be, in most of the cities, the parking is not very legally handled everywhere. Okay, but having a good app or a solution can streamline all these things. Right? I leave it up to that. Please start thinking on that. And the other part was, and this is a problem that I also faced, I wanted to donate clothes. So I know there are agencies whom I can call upon and they'll come and collect clothes from my place. Donate old clothes. Okay. So I know there are agencies who will come, and there's a n number of, and they are an NGO kind of thing, a charitable organization. So if I tell them today, they'll come tomorrow or day after, or they'll send their van at a particular Saturday or a Sunday and pick up those clothes, etc. But I still feel technology needs to get into this, where most of our society, which are above average in their incomes, have plenty of surplus. And there is a section of society where these surplus cannot reach. Or even if it reaches very late, or the timing is not right. Or at times, if I see that nobody is coming and picking up those clothes, I know. There are a lot of households who sell those clothes against something else. So I think there is a scope where we can think a technological solution where all the households, if they have some old clothes, they can donate in a manner that the pickup becomes easy, and the donee, the person who collects it, is also able to distribute it to needy people. These are the two problem statements that I thought I have faced in my personal life, and I think if you guys can come up with some solution with that. Nirupam, I'm done with my part.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, Sakindra sir. Now I would like to invite Anshuman Bhattacharya sir, who is the founder and CEO of the CBIA Analytics and Consulting Service Private Limited. CBIA is a technology-driven predictive analytic company and it help enterprises in kickstarting their machine learning journey and reap benefits from their enterprise and alternative data. Anshuman Bhattacharya sir is an entrepreneur in the area of data science and machine learning with about 2 decades of success in consulting and providing solutions to Fortune 500 and top in APAC enterprises. And he's a pioneer in the machine learning private business problem, solving for SMBs across the world, and he had built solution and delivery teams across the organization as entrepreneur and entrepreneur. Anshuman Bhattacharya sir, please enlighten us with your kind words.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Anshuman. Is it possible to turn on the video?
I think someone has to turn on for me, some admin, because I'm not able to.
Okay. Can you help?
No, sir. Actually, there is a symbol in the downward side.
No, I know that. We use Gmeet maybe 6 hours a day. Either it is because there are too many members, or maybe the admin has not able to allow me. Every time I click, it goes off on its own. Anyway,
okay.
I'll have to be on without video, but I have to share my screen. I hope that would be allowed. I'm just checking it.
Yeah, try to share that. And yeah.
Just tell me if it is coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, great. So I will. Okay, thanks. So I will share this case study, but right now, let me give a very brief background about myself and my company. So my name is Anshuman Bhattacharya. I have been into analytics and machine learning for the last about 20 years. You can say that from the beginning of the industry of machine learning or analytics started in India, I have been there. I initially worked in Bangalore in a company called Symphony. Then I moved to US, working for the parent company of that group by the name IRI, Information Resources Incorporation, who are the second largest holder of consumer information in US and many part of Europe. Our only competitor was Nielsen, and in some cases it was bigger than Nielsen. Then I moved back to India. I joined Cognizant. I started working towards building a business of analytics in Cognizant, which was somewhat successful. After that, I moved to Wipro. I built, again, was part of building the Wipro analytics business, was heading the analytics COE, which have been about a 200-member team by the time I leave. I left Wipro in 2014, and in 2014, end of 2014, I started this company, CBI Analytics. Now, CBI Analytics, you can say, is one of the leading analytics and machine learning company in India. There are surveys which kind of rank orders these top Indian companies in analytics area. We have been part of the survey from part of the top 20 from the beginning, and right now we are in our quadrant, the challenger quadrant, or which is maybe the quadrant of smaller boutique firms. We are at the top, and in Eastern India, of course, we are one of the biggest analytics and machine learning companies. Now, what do we do? Simply put, like, we help companies, enterprises work on their machine learning or develop their machine learning capabilities and improve their businesses in various aspects. So we work with them. We don't have a product, but we have built a platform through which we serve those clients, which is a cloud hosted platform, which is used to build any solution for almost any client. I mean, we primarily work in the area of retail business and the e-commerce and consumer brands. So the platform is also kind of geared towards for these industries. So this is the platform we have built. So what I'll do today is that I'll talk about a case study, and which is a common case study, and I have chosen a case study in such a way that which gives you, I mean, the case study can be replicated by almost any, because we are not using here any enterprise data or any private data. The whole solution is built publicly available data. And why I've chosen this case study is that after that, the idea that I'll give for you to develop, and someone or maybe a few people here or a few groups from here would be interested to develop something on your own, you can actually follow this path and using only publicly available data, how to build a analytics or machine learning solution. So that's my objective. Let me get into the case study directly. Sorry. Close that one. So this is a projection, and see, this is why I've chosen this. This is a very basic of any business. So when at the beginning of the session, when we have been talking about how to build a business, how to grow a business, and the need of market research. So you can say that this is a very high level, very detailed market level, market research problem that we are picking up. we are picking up one particular industry. Here it is the painting industry and the geography is North America. And the North America, because why I say North America, not only US, because these two countries are their trades are absolutely open. So any company between the two countries can go and serve the customers in most of the cases. So that's why many of the bigger companies actually take Canada as part of their extended business. So this is why we do for the painting industry in the North America revenue projection. So why the revenue projection is important? Say either you are an incumbent player in the business, or you are or you are a new entrant in the industry. You need to know how big the industry actually is. Is there enough market for me? Is there enough growth opportunity for me? So this is a very important ask for any entrepreneur. Now, what we want to do over here is that for an incumbent or who is one of the top three painting companies, painting services company in India, we built their revenue projection so that they know what is my opportunity and where is the opportunity. So not only the revenue projection on overall North America, but we actually gone down very deeper at a zip code level. Like in these zip code, there is like this is the opportunity size, this is the market size, and then also give a projection like it would be in the next 5 years what could be the growth, so that they can do their business planning pretty well at a very high level, at a country level, for different regions, and finally coming down to every area where they have a franchisee, etc. They can actually focus on that particular geography and build the business. This is a very useful case study in a sense that, and this is not particular to this painting industry or any North America. This is an exercise probably you have to do if you are into the business for any of the business, or if you want to say part of providing managerial input, management input to enterprise. This is one of the very important stuff you need to do. So what do we do? So as I said, the case study is about predicting the potential revenue. I mean, what could be my revenue size in the residential market? So now, painting is a service which are consumed by many type of consumers. So residential means all the residential buildings, their interiors and exteriors. Similarly, commercial means all the commercial buildings, be it an office or shopping mall or shop or anything. Or this could be industrial, because the industries require different type of painting services. Here we have focused only on the residential market at a zip code level. Okay. So what do we do now? How really you know that what is the size of any market? Very unlikely that you will get this data in a public manner directly, simply because the size of the industry is nothing but the revenue of some private companies, and those private companies, if they are not public, there is no way to get to know what is the revenue size. You can only guess that. And any industry, maybe like there are some top companies who are public, whose information is available from the account statements or the annual statements. But there are a lot of privately held company for whom you will not know. So for such a thing, you can only try to estimate by using certain proxy. So what proxy we have taken over here is quite interesting. Is that now look, we are looking at the painting services business size. If you look at a services business, you will see that the services business is the major part of the services business would be the people's wages. So if I get to know how much wage is earned in this industry, or how many people are working in this industry, that can be a very good proxy of estimating the market size. So we have taken this route. Now, US has very good data in terms of their labor services. That means every person, every worker over there is enumerated. Their what type of work they do is very detailed out, and how much they are earning, how many days they are engaged in a job, how many days they are outside the job, and how much they are earning, what is the average wage rate. All these information are available. So just by utilizing those information, you can actually get the labor services wages size of the wages. Now, in any service industry, we can also make some other assumptions that wages is actually 40% or 35% of the business. Then you can just multiply the number and you get it. But we went further down, and what we did is that we identified also along with the wages, what is the total sale of paints? So the painting service market is primarily the wages, and then the second component is the cost of the paints. If I get these two, then I have pretty much the size of the market estimated. Now, this is at a high level we have used. I'll also show you the data, how we have used the data. Yes, so you're going to look at it. So now to forecast, we also use certain things. Now, if you look at, as I said, the residential market for painting, now what is the size of the residential market, which is basically how many new households are coming, new house buildings are coming, and then some assumption like from the existing households, how many of them will go to a repaint. In certain American surveys, we have found that the repainting happens on every 3 to 4 years. That means you can tell today for all my houses which are more than 1 year old, about 25% will be repainted. So which is also a sizable market. So here what we have done, we have calculated or estimated or received the total number of housing units. The permits have been given. That means if you're given a permit, that means the building will come in next 1 to 2 years. How many of which, how many are single family structure, how many are multi-family structure? Single family structures are basically standalone houses where only one family resides. So multi-family could be any apartment, row house, and any kind of where in one building there are multiple apartments or multiple units. Total number of existing housing units. Average household income of a zip code, because see the post zip codes, they would be repainting more often, and maybe their rates of repaint would be, or the painting would be higher. Number of bedrooms is a very important aspect, because if I know the number of houses and each house how many bedrooms are there, I actually can come up with how many square foot or how many million square foot paintings would be required. So this way we get various external data, and from there build statistical model to predict what would be my expected number of households or expected square feet or square meters of millions of square meters of surface to be painted, and all such factors. And we got this data at a very detailed level. Like, zip is equivalent to a pin code in India. I'm sure many of you already know. So the output we received is like zip level. So here is also the data. So what we did is that this is one zip code, basically a group of zip code, not a single zip code, because we have summarized at a higher level. A zip code could be very small. It is in Oregon, state of Oregon. The name of the county is this. So this is the income, and this is how the income from the residential construction is growing. So we know that there's a 30% CAGR at which this real estate market is growing, and then projection made for the next 5 years up to 1919 or 2019-20, and expecting a CAGR of this much. So this gives me what is the overall real estate market growth. And similarly, there are other factors like what is the median household income, what is the population of that zip code, weightage, how many bedroom. It's a weighted count means, say there are 10 houses of which 4 has single bedroom, 3 has 2 bedroom, 3 has 4 bedrooms, then my weighted count would be the total of all the bedrooms. So actually bedroom is the biggest unit and biggest, you can say, standard unit of a household size. So we have used this, and the total number of household is as much, count of, okay, this is not important. So this way we have created all the data and estimated the size of the market. And then how do we consume, how the the business planner would consume. For that we made a live report like this. Yes, this one. So this is how you see the output. Now I select all, so all the states are selected, and we see that it's still refreshing. Just a second. So we estimated that in 2020, the market size would be $31.86 billion, about $32 billion. I can take one state, say I take a state of California. So it will show only the California state. These are the counties. San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward is the biggest county. If you click on that, it will show the data of this, how fast this is growing. And here, this is it. I can actually zoom in over there, zoom further. So these are all my zip codes, which in this particular state gives me the highest amount of business. The darker the green shade, the bigger the green shade is, that means the market is as big. But if it is more dark, that means it is also growing faster. Similarly, red means the market is small and it is also not growing, actually growing at a negative rate. It sometimes happens that some of the zip codes people are not living there, going out, and maybe for whatever reason they are not growing. So this gives, so any planners who is in California want to analyze this zip code, he can just see, okay, this is the biggest market. I don't know why it is in the sea. It should be some of the bordering area of the San Francisco city. Yeah, this is another one which is growing at 6.5%, and this is another one which is growing at a 7.5%. So his question would be, do I have a franchisee there? This market is growing very fast, but I see that there is no franchisee. That means it's time I appoint a franchisee over there because there's a big market growing. Or take this one for that matter. So this is growing at a very fast rate. Yeah.
Angshu, just interrupting, Angshu, the time is limited. It's a very good case.
Sure. So this is an idea I gave how we estimate a market size. Now I give you the problem statement, and it has some interest of myself. Excellent. Apart from this business of analytics, I am also into a trade of e-commerce, and I own the largest Bengali online book marketplace called boichoi.com. I give you a very simple yet very important use case or case to develop is what is the market size of Bengali books in India and which cities or which state and what is the size. If anyone want to pick this up, can talk to me or create a group and talk to me. I will tell more detail what to do that. Basically, I want to estimate the market of the regional books in Bengali in all over India and where my customers could be. What is the size of different markets? Following this one. I know that there is a set of participants from Kerala. Similarly, you can also pick up the same use case, that what could be the market size of the Malayalam books and how fast they are growing. Say in 2025 or 2027, what would be the market size year on year? So this is the use case I want to leave with you. If anyone is interested, can come back to me and my team will guide on how to estimate this and come up with an estimate like that. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be invited and honored to be invited over here. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Any question you can ask me maybe later sometime.
Thank you so much, Ansuman sir, for your beautiful presentation and also helping us understand how to do market research. Now I would like to invite Mr. Sanjoy Chatterjee sir, who is an alumnus of our own institute and the director of the board and CTO, Ideation Technology Solutions Private Limited. He has more than a decade of experience in leading very large, complex, distributed, offshore, on-site and cutting-edge technology projects. Sir is also poised in his journey of the value chain in providing high-value technology and business solutions. I hope that all the participants will acquire more knowledge from his words and experiences. Sanjoy Chatterjee sir, please enlighten us.
Thank you, Sachendra, for introduction, and good evening to you all. Special thanks to Professor Das for giving me and giving NASSCOM an opportunity to be a part of this initiative that we have taken for. I'm an alumnus of this college, as Sachendra said. I'm a proud alumnus of this college. Yeah. So just quickly introduce myself, as Sachin already said. I started my career in Tata Motors as a GT. Now, after that, I was working in a product company, Cast Iron Systems, for around more than 10 years. That was mostly enterprise application integration product company, which was acquired by IBM. And after that, I started my entrepreneurial journey in 2007, founded Ideation. And after a few years, I founded Ideal Analytics based in France. And then a couple of startups in the area of environment and digital, healthcare and all. So, right, in the interest of time, I would directly go to the case studies I wanted to share with you. And I'm not giving the solutions. I'll probably give you some basic hints of the solutions so that you can brainstorm and come up with the solutions. This area, 2 case studies I'll be presenting that I came across recently. In the sense, these are, I thought probably will be interesting for you to put some, thoughts on this. And if you can come up with good solutions, most welcome. And I'll be there to help in case you need any assistance. I guess you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can, Sanjoy.
Great. So the first one is in the area of the robotic process automation, RPA. That's the area which is becoming very popular. One is, it's not actually Industry 4.0, that robotic process automation. It is in the process of automation of, mainly the case study that I'm showing it for the document process automation. So in this, you can imagine there are a lot of industry cases. What was the main problem? If you see, there might be a data in documents. It might be an image, it might be a text PDF or an image PDF. Companies might have thousands and invoices, some contracts, some deeds. It might be some healthcare forms, which is from bank forms and all, etc. In this area, it is really difficult to extract information manually from these different heterogeneous formats of documents. So what is the solution that we need? How can it is possible to extract the key value pairs from these documents? It might be an image, PDF, or anything. And of course, through a quality process. What is the value proposition of this case study? If we can do this fast, then of course, with the accuracy or with the reduced inaccuracy rather, and of course the reduced time spent, we save cost and time. There is a use case on this, few use cases. One of the use cases, as I mentioned, like invoice processing. Resume processing is another use case. Extremely important use case is insurance claim settlement. Imagine in a peer provider scenario, like peer means like your insurance company and providers are like say hospital. These claim settlements forms are very complex in nature. And each of the claim is basically has to be validated with the contract that you have when you did this mediclaim. So these are the cases where a lot of fraudulent activities also happen. Now, manually checking this is a lot of time consuming thing. So that is another area. Contract management for big companies, there are hundreds and thousands of vendors, small to big. Contract management is very, very interesting area. So overall, any kind of application that can come where there is a form data to be extracted, and these forms can be of varieties of structure, not a single format and all, and varieties of formats, layouts, and also, as I said, it might be a textual based form like or also a OCR, image which needs to be scanned as an OCR. As a hint of this solution, there are two approaches, but of course this is very broad. Just to keep your thought in this, one is you can have a deep learning based method wherein you train those documents and then you map the fields and pick up the name value pairs from there. And also there are technology which is training free, which requires a lot of different approach, and there are cases where you can utilize your AI skill in this area. Of course, OCR is also a technology that will be required. There are some open source tool you can try out. I forgot to write the name, like Tesseract, etc. You can use those, you can see how that work and all. So this is the business case number 1. The second case is in the area of digital twin. This is what I would say the bare bone of metaverse, which is coming up. So imagine this digital twin now is being embraced by big enterprises, mostly which are asset intensive. For example, oil and gas is the first mover in this area. Building information modeling was also there for long, but now it has gone down, rather it has spread across industries. For example, oil and gas, energy, utility, power, manufacturing a lot. So wherever you have got an asset or a process that has to be monitored and managed and maintained. Like in an oil and gas company, imagine a situation, it is like 5 kilometers by say 10 kilometers area that has got a structural buildings, architectural building, information. It has got piping information, machinery, plant, all. You can make a 3D model of that. And then on top of that, if you can integrate the data, which is coming from different systems like SCADA and all, which is the plant management, as well as some sensors through IoT sensors. And once you have that kind of a model in front of you, then you can use virtual reality to enable the walkthrough through that plant, and augmented reality for maintenance and support. Like somebody's there inside the plant and take their camera and pointing towards a machine, immediately the person can get to see the detail of the machine, so that the maintenance activity becomes much easier. What is the value proposition? Of course, the whole world is now going towards data driving method. It's not data driven now, it's like data driving method. So that's the big value proposition, because every step, the data being captured and measured, and based on that, the efficiency are calculated. So it increases operational efficiency like a lot. And of course, it gives you an immersive experience through AR VR driven. So, and also it gives you another flexibility wherein before you even lay out any plant, you can really do a simulation in terms of the safety planning and even design. So that's a big cost saving. So what are the applications? I mentioned the industries. And now the applications will be asset management, maintenance, training people. I mean, these companies in oil and gas, power, utility, they spend billions of dollars in that. So these are endless, be it a small or big. There might be a small manufacturing unit. You need to have a digital tool for that also to increase or improve the operational efficiency and asset management. The hint for the solution is there are 4 parts of this. One is how you make the digital twin. There are tools and all you can check up, like Unity is like one of them, Babylon JS, 3JS, those kind of technology you can go through. And then how you superimpose the data on top of this digital twin that you've created is through that you can explore this IoT thing. And of course, last but not least is the VR AR. I know this is not, which will give you a kind of an immersive experience from a 3D model along with a VR. So all together. And as I mentioned, the applications are enormous. So these are the 2 use cases I wanted to share with you. And thank you. Any questions? I'll be available later.
Thanks, Sanjoy. Absolutely. Very good problem statements.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay Chatterjee, sir, for your kind words and enlightening us with your experience and providing us the case study. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Amitava Banerjee, sir, who is also an alumnus of our institute and CEO B3 Brain Behind Band. Amitava Banerjee, sir, has an experience of nearly years and he had worked in the rank of Vice President, Senior General Manager, etc. at different phases of his professional career with different organizations. Sir has established B3 Brain Behind Brand, an executive search agency and marketing consultancy in 2008, which has grown to a reasonable size during these years and provides services to the clients from different cities of India as well as Oman, UAE, Malaysia, etc. B3 Brain Behind Brand has later diversified, currently provides end-to-end HR solution, digital solution, marketing and sales consulting, IT and software consulting, etc. to MSMEs and startups. Mr. Amitava Banerjee, sir, please elucidate us with your words.
Thank you, Sanjeevani, for introducing me, and thanks everyone, those who are attending this program. So this is a nice opportunity for all of us to discuss about the various aspects as mentioned. So I will make a very small presentation. I make few slides. So I'm straightway going to the presentation. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir, the screen is visible. Yes, sir.
Is the presentation visible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So let me start. When everything getting smart, then why not smart MSME? Smart home and smart city, smart education and smart health, smart mobility and smart life, and smart offices. So why not smart MSMEs? Challenges faced by MSMEs: limited access to financial services. It is around 35%. High collateral requirements, products not customized to needs. Bankers worry of lending to micro and small enterprises, usually informal structures, and suppress income on accounts to evade taxes. Core infrastructure 10%, lack of infrastructure such as road, electricity, among others. Lack of skills and market awareness, 25%. Poor business development and management skills. Really heavily on contracts for market-related information, contacts or for market-related information, inability to interpret statistical data. Lack of skilled human resources, 15%. Primarily promoter-driven, lack skilled management and staff. So these are the challenges faced by MSMEs and limited or no use of innovation and technology, which is 15% of the whole game. So we, by smart MSMEs, what I'm trying to present here is that specific. What do I want to accomplish? Measurable. How will I know when it is accomplished? Achievable. How can the goal be accomplished? Realistic. Does this seem worthwhile? And time bound. When can I accomplish this goal? Effective use of innovation and technology can turn MSMEs into smart, sustainable, competitive, and yielding venture. The role of technology and innovation in MSME sectors, I'm giving you some examples. Like Central Tool Room, CTR, Ludhiana has developed pressure die casting die for electric vehicle battery component and import substitute being imported from China for an MSME unit of metal, Messrs. Deepak International Limited, Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. Institute for Design of Electrical Measuring Instruments, IDMI, Mumbai has successfully completed proficiency testing program for mass and volume calibration laboratory parameters. This evaluation is carried out by a third-party laboratory to ensure labs meeting National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories, NABL, standards. Central Footwear Training Institute, CFTOI Agra, has developed 13 new styles of shoes and its patterns in its shoe design studio for an export-oriented unit at Agra. The next one, Indo-Danish Tool Room IDTR Jamshedpur, has developed and manufactured a high-precision component creep jaw and import substitute through reverse engineering, which is used in clamping of sheets in steel rolling mill. This component is manufactured for an MSME unit, namely Automotive India, Kolkata. In fact, the owner of Automotive India, Kolkata, Mr. Surajit Dev, is quite known to me, a friend of mine, passed out from Jadavpur University in 1991, the same batch I passed out from BA College. In fact, today I spoke to him. I could not contact him before. So I requested him if he can present. They are doing many reverse engineering and their main projects are through technological innovations. So he has consented to present certain cases. I don't know, I have sent him the link also if he has joined today. Indo-Danish Tool Room IDTR Jamshedpur has designed and manufactured the following welding fixture and frame cell T72 tank for Ordnance Factory Domnom. So these are certain examples. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just giving you another one or two examples. That is like participant 11, WASM. It is the objective of Team WASM is to make learning at school a smart proposition through their digital platform, enable teachers to send instant updates to parents and enhances parent-teacher engagement. So they are two, those who are the, one is Mr. Aditya Maheshwari, who is the CEO, and Mr. Sayantan Bhattacharya, who is the COO. Then Ampere Hour Energy, Team Ampere Hour Energy is all set to revolutionize rural India with their intelligent energy storage systems. Mr. Ayush Mishra is the CEO, and Mr. Harshal Thakur is the COO. Drones Tech Lab uses drones and rovers to deliver innovative solutions to various challenges during the COVID crisis. It came widely in news media during that time. Then this one, Mr. Kallan Sivalasam, is Siva Sailam, only 25 years of age, co-founder and CEO of 5C Network. Kalyan Siva Sailam's 5C Network is a cloud-based platform that connects about 200 hospitals and diagnostic centers to 100 specialist radiologists for on-demand diagnosis of X-ray, CT, and MRI scans, except ultrasound. Ultrasound is not allowed by this way. So I have tried to give some examples where innovation played important roles in MSMEs, and through innovation and technological innovation, the industry got benefited, and definitely the entire ecosystem that got their helps due to these technological innovations in different sectors where MSMEs are working. So I'm concluding that 4 ways of innovation can help MSMEs. One is boost market position. Innovation can help anticipate market changes more quickly and get ahead of opportunities. Very important in today's market when it's fiercely competitive, and especially MSMEs, as I have mentioned, they always have a shortage of fund or liquidity. So innovation can help anticipate market changes more quickly and get ahead of opportunities. It can also help differentiate from the competition. Such innovation can come from continuously analyzing market trends, listening to customers, suppliers, and advisors, and studying what competitors are doing in order to spot opportunities and jump on them. Basically, the stakeholders who are associated with this particular business ideation. Also, it's often useful to look at what's happening in industry and in other countries. Reduce waste and costs. Important, very important today, especially for MSMEs, because market price is fixed, raw material, price is almost fixed, marketing cost is almost fixed. So it's basically you can reduce waste and costs. That is, innovation can help reduce waste in business and leave better position to focus on the long-term goals rather than always putting out fires. Innovative MSMEs have implemented operational efficiency changes such as streamlining order processing, eliminating production bottlenecks, and reducing machinery and employee idle time. The goal is to constantly be on the lookout for ways to eliminate waste. That can bring a host of benefits: lower costs, better profit margins, improved customer service, and increased competitiveness. An efficiency expert can help you identify such innovations. Improve sales and customer relationships, CRM, we all talk about now. Failing to improve your products and services can put you at risk of losing customers to more innovative competitors. If you invest time and money in innovation, customers will notice and appreciate the extra value you are bringing to them. That should translate into more sales. You can start with simple steps like regularly serving customers to identify potential product improvements and setting up an innovation team to spearhead your efforts. Those who are willing to, after completing your graduation courses, want to start, business, want to join this startup businesses or build up MSMEs. These are important, inputs, I believe. Improve employee relations. An innovative workplace is stimulating for employees. Very important stakeholder, all employees are those who are associated with a startup or a MSME. Cultivating pride in your products and a desire for your company to be an industry leader should reduce workplace turnover and boost productivity. That can in turn lead to still more innovation success because employees are often a company's best source of ideas. Be sure to listen to them, ask for their feedback on innovation in all areas of your business, including how to improve products, marketing, and efficiency. They can give invaluable insights into ways to innovate, and they will appreciate having your ear. Thank you. These are the points which I wanted to mention about the MSMEs. Again, thank you all. I have really enjoyed the presentations made by all the speakers. They are basically from software and IT sector, so it's really encouraging, educating for me also. And I hope I made some points which are into manufacturing sector or mainly manufacturing and core industry sectors. As a service provider, I work with those MSMEs mainly. So hope the presentations which I made will be some use of the students who are attending this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Amitava sir, for your kind words and providing us the case study. Now I would like to invite Mr. Anibandha Mukhopadhyay sir, a 1991 alumnus of our own institute and the current senior general manager at Sun Pharma. Sir has nearly 3 decades of experience, having strong acumen towards strategic application of evolving technologies, consulting experience, and operational leadership, driving innovation with help of business process reengineering, change management, analytics, enterprise architecture, including but not limited to robotics, process automation, IoT, digitization, cloud services, etc. Anibandha Mukhopadhyay sir, please elucidate us with your words.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and thanks a lot to the organization for inviting me in this platform. So, and I can see some of my old friends are there, like Sanjoy, Amitava, we are there. So I come from a corporate background. I am not running any company. I'm not the director. I'm not owning any company. But when I was told about this platform that I need to share something about what can be done from this incubation center, I would define it in a different way. So I would say that in a daily life, wherever each of you feel pain, that is the area where you can think of automizing or digitization. So I'll give you 3-4 examples on the areas where, from industry point of view, we can see a lot of challenges where you all can really help, and I can be assisting you if required. The first and the foremost area, if you see the government of India in front of the GST point of view, the way they are changing their strategy, changing the reconciliation part, changing the income tax calculation part, and everything is something really taking a good shape, because everything more or less going digital. Now, in our organization, what was happening when we have implemented GST and 1st July 2017, now you can have GST credit only. This is slightly accounting technical students. I don't know whether you'll be in a position to understand, but I'll make your life easy. So for every purchase, there is a base cost, there is a tax. Now, what Government of India is saying today, that for every tax, suppose you are my supplier, you raise me an invoice having a base value and tax value, I can have the credit of that said tax when I am submitting the invoice, subject to you, as a supplier, submits the tax return on time with Government of India. If not, I will lose the credit. Now think about companies who is 5,000 crore, 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore, turnover 40,000, 50,000 crore. It's huge in crores. So there is an area where you can think of implementing or creating a robotics process. Actually, we have implemented there, which is happening basically. It is downloading the supplier's bill through optical character reading or image reading, image character reading. It is extracting the data from the invoice or the related documents. It is storing in a particular file, in a table. Then with the help of that one, they are checking the tax, the dependency, whatever we have, and then reconciling the figure and letting the organization know how much GST you can have a credit and what is outstanding for you, where supplier is yet to do that one. And it is, believe me, it is absolutely automate. Just to give you a size of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited, we are number 1 in India. We are number 5 in the generic medicine point of the US market. And our turnover is around $4 billion, headquartered in Bombay. It's an Indian multinational. So this is one area where you can really look into it, because GST management is becoming a challenge for everybody, and corporates are in a position to spend a lot of money for that, but MSME, it's a pain. So you can think of a cloud service, you can think of a subscription-based service where you can, what chartered accountants are doing, so they can become your customer to avail your service might be. This is one area. Another area is that from the logistic point of view, okay, now we have heard of third-party logistic. What is third-party logistic? Basically, whenever the material is getting shifted from one state to another state, it's getting done by a third party, and they have a different warehouse at different locations. For example, Dankuni might be Kharagpur. I'm giving you the name because we are from Bengal. It might be anywhere. So every city, every district might have multiple godowns where they store the material. Now, typically what happens, it might be a 10,000 square feet area, or the 100,000 square feet area, 200,000 square feet area, anything. So whenever anybody books a space through a system, it might be an app or might be the supplier app, mobile application or anything. From the, I would say that the go down owner point of view, what happens, they are always having 1,000 square feet, 200, 100 square feet here, 50 square feet here, 30 square feet here. Those fields are vacant. And that is a very big challenge for these owners. Okay. Now what happens, and there are two ways to look into it. So there are a lot of small logistic companies. Suppose I want to send my household goods from Calcutta to Bombay. Okay. I need a 30 square feet space in Nagpur, might be. Okay. Getting a 30 square feet space is a pain. Okay. Because it need to speak to each of the individual go down owner like that one. On the contrary, the go down owners are also facing problem to sell that space. Okay. Can you create a synergy where the balance go down space can be rented out to the prospective leads or prospective customer who needs only might be 10 square feet, 20 square feet, very, very small spaces. Okay. Not a big space. It's a pain. It's a pain. So if you talk about the big companies or the supply chain company, they are having these issues. These are two examples I have shared from the industry point of view. There are a lot of examples. I can say that okay, there is another activity called bank reconciliation. Okay, it's absolutely manual. What happens basically is that they are having the transactions through bank. At the end of the month or at the quarter, they get download the statement. It is absolutely manual. Okay, so some of the cases, can you think of creating a RPA? Okay, which can really help for a reconciliation between I would say the bank statement and the sale invoices of the organization as well as the bill submitted in the Government of India portal. You would love to understand, I don't know, some of you might be aware of or all of you be aware of, there are APIs available today in the industry, all multiple APIs. So it's called Application Programming Interface. So you can talk to government portal and you can download anything. That's not a. So small, a tool. Okay, I go to MSME and say, boss, you are having 2, 3, 4 manpower for doing this accounting and actually balancing the bank reconciliation activity. This tool would help. You give me the Excel file from bank, from XYZ, from this system. It will give you the reconciliation and throw the result to you where you can take the risk corrective action. What RPA can do? RPA can do with the robotics process automation, basically that the repeat work can be automated. But in this process, this system cannot take a call on that one. Then comes into the picture the AI/ML part. Okay. So in that case, when the result is thrown, that the result, I have a 2 debits of 100,000 rupees from my bank, but there is no related transaction in my system, then I need to either have a manpower to analyze, or can I create an AI/ML tool to analyze and give me the result of, hey, Mr. Organization, this is what has been done. These are the really painful areas for MSMEs. So another area you can thought of. Okay, I stay alone in Bombay. So my base is in Kolkata. My family is in Kolkata. I stay in Bombay. So I had a cook. Can you think of people who are staying alone? And there are a lot of people staying alone out of hometown because of the professional compulsion. Okay, so I want to cook a vegetable. Okay, I need to have a cook. But while we're in a cook, can you develop something, a machine where I can put some of the ingredients and I can cook biryani? I don't need biryani from Marcelo or Siraj. Just a thought process, okay? If you all might be aware of the toothbrush, today you are having a toothbrush where you can just keep it here and toothbrush will do their own work because there is a battery, it can rotate and it can do all these things what manually you are doing, okay? So there are small things wherever, I mean, you need to think in a different way, where is the pain? But there is a big difference between from the smart home point of view and the professional, the corporate point of view. What is the MSME or SME or so on. All the MSMEs, they have a bigger challenge of getting the data visible to the third party or anybody else. They're keeping the data very confidential. But whenever you're developing a tool, it should talk to multiple applications. So if you are creating a tool, if you don't have an API, for example, SAP HANA, we all are aware of, or Oracle e-business. So majorly SAP HANA has taken the 7 to 75% market share of SME and corporates, not MSME. So for each and everything, you should, whatever you decide or design, please remember, if it is a transaction-based system, it must have an interface ready with multiple source system or the end system. So that needs some experience. I don't know, when I was at your age, whatever I'm telling today, if somebody has discussed with me when I was young, okay, I could have said, "Are yaar, kya bol raha hai? I don't understand." But today I'm believing you, you might understand because the young generation is much more smarter today what we were 30 years back. These are the small areas. So another area called, I can say the last one, I will not take much time. Sorry, can you hear me? Hello,
Yes,
can you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The last area is that if you see there is a very painful situation is coming slowly. People like us, whose child would be away because of their professional compulsion, anything, they will be out of their home and the parents would be staying alone. Okay. There are small tools available, like I can use a tool for hospital booking. I can use Practo for doctor appointment booking. I can use a Karma tool for booking of an, I would say, Aya or nurses. I have not seen a single tool which can give me these features. So if you talk about the people who are staying alone, might be only husband, wife, the old 60+ years, or might be mother alone, father alone, grandfather alone. I don't know, anything can happen. Think of something which can be integrated where you as a son or daughter or grandchild or anything, you are sitting in outside hometown, whether it is US or Singapore, Australia or Bangalore, Chennai, doesn't matter. You should be having a constant touch with your parents who are staying alone. How you can do that one? You can do that one and create a tool which can be voice enabled, video enabled. You give it a service. You put a TV in the house where you give a switch in a wristwatch where you can anybody anytime can talk. Anybody, a person sitting outside hometown can book a doctor from the same application, can book a Aya, can book an ambulance, can book a, I don't know, anything. So I'm saying that can book a plumber, can book an electrician. So that platform is not available. Individually, small tools are available. So these are the areas I wanted to share with you. But there are much more areas. The list is unlimited. You need to decide where your passion is. If your passion is with your home solution, if your passion with the account solution, if your passion with the transport system, if your passion with the airline system, take that one and think what is the need. Last, there might be any small solution is available. It doesn't mean there is no need, no requirement in the market. You can always think of whatever is available, can I go to the next step? Can I go to the next step? And you can, if you reach there, so there is a market. Market is for all. Thank you. That's all from my side. And thanks again to all of you. And I'm really enjoyed because you are from our erstwhile BE College, Bengal Engineering College, Shibpur. So yeah, I really feel proud of that one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And now I would like to invite Mr. Atul Agarwal, sir, who is a technophile and an entrepreneur, and sir is a computer software professional with decades of experience, primarily in VLSI, mobile communication, and energy domains. And he has worked with many international clients in US, Europe, and Japan in outsourced software development. Sir?
Hello.
Sir, please illustrate us with your kind words.
Yeah. Hi. Hey, good evening, everybody. Nice to talk to the young people. I will be a little quick and try to provide my inputs as fast as possible. Okay, so we are a boutique software company in Kolkata, in Salt Lake. We're located in the city center, and we primarily work in some technology kind of projects for various, and our customers are typically startups. One of the areas that I would want to cover today, which Nirupam requested me, would be the area of IoT, in which we have executed quite a few projects. Before I go into my projects, I just want to tell you that today the world has changed, and resources are typically not an issue. So there is no constraining anything that can constrain you. If you don't have hardware, there are emulators available, data available, there is tools available, open source. So all you need is a passion, a good idea, and most of the supporting infrastructure is not too difficult to get. If you are interested in quantum computing by any chance, even that is available for almost free. So you don't have to have a quantum computer sitting on your desk. There are organizations which provide you remote APIs by which you can actually program a quantum computer. So all what I wanted to drive home the point is have an idea and the world is there to help you execute. Now, coming to some projects that we have done, we have worked in IoT in various areas, and as the previous speaker was saying, you just need to identify a pain point. And there are various pain points that if you look around you, you can see. For example, there are elderly people living alone who have a tough time starting their pump for water. If you can give them a simple solution so that they can operate the pump remotely from the comfort of their home using some Wi-Fi network, for example. This is just a very simple example. Or even something simpler. A lot of homes, elderly people have to look for light switches. Why not motion detection light bulbs, which are very simple to build? They are available even today in the market. If you go to Amazon, look for motion sensing lights. You'll find a lot of that, but you can also build your own. And remember, as I said, there are infrastructure. If you want to sell it, Amazon is there. You really don't have to own a store or anything like that. You just can sign up with some e-commerce site and sell your product. Okay. And so there are various such things that, e-health is becoming important. If you can have a stethoscope, which is internet enabled, or blood pressure monitoring, which is internet enabled. All these are ideas that will will be useful in the market. Okay, so we have, say, there was a university in which the data center had expensive machines, and there a problem of power cuts, and the power cuts would happen for a long period of time, and then the UPS battery would run out, and then the servers would crash. So we built a system for them to monitor the power supply, and if the power supply was gone and even monitor the UPS to see how much charge is there, and if it was like for a long period of time, we see that then we could shut down the servers automatically, and when the power came back, our hardware could turn on the servers again automatically, and also send out SMS to saying power is gone, power has come back, and so on. Simple things. And if you look around you can find many such ideas that you can implement. Another project we did was for tea gardens, where the tea gardens are in remote areas, and then the head office is in Kolkata, and they want to know what is going on, what are the temperature parameters, humidity parameters, which are very important for tea manufacture, and they could see it on a dashboard sitting in their Calcutta office instead of calling up and finding out and so on. One of the projects we worked on, there are boutique stores where there are expensive clothing items, and very often there is theft. So whether we can use RFID to track those kind of, like even jewelers today would be interested to have some RFID solution to detect theft, for example. So in a nutshell, all I wanted to say was that there are zillions of problems that you can think of, build and sell without having too much of funding, a lot of funding, and so on. Just a passion and a desire to deliver. Now, coming to the use cases, I'll give you two use cases, or two problem statements rather than use cases. One of them a little theoretical, but maybe you'll find it interesting, and the other one is a real problem where we failed, and so I want to open it up as a challenge to you guys. So the first one is, let's say you want to build an autonomous driving system. Well, you might say, oh man, that's a big thing. Where will I get a car? But just to, you might be surprised to know that there is something called a simulator, a vehicle simulator, which simulates a car moving on a street. It can simulate pedestrians, it can simulate traffic lights, it can simulate rain, lighting conditions, and it's called Carla, C-A-R-L-A, and it is available for free for download. Okay, so basically, if you download this simulator, you are able to actually create conditions in which a car is driving, and you can inject events like a pedestrian approaching and so on, or a car approaching, or a pedestrian right in front of a car and so on. Now, so this provides you all the inputs that you need to get from a real car. You can get video streams, you can get camera feeds and so on. And then you want to create your own intelligent software to guide the car as it is moving around. There is something known as ROS, a robotic operating system. And this is also free, open source. And so if you download ROS and you download Carla, within no time, you will be able to build an application which can be used to implement some kind of autonomous driving system. Okay. So just, I wanted to give you an idea that if you're interested, then there are tools available that you can use to build something which is almost real world. Okay. The second use case that I wanted to talk about is a real use case. We were approached by a high-rise apartment complex to find a solution for the fact that people leave the taps on and go on vacation. And then a lot of water flows through those pipes and taps and floods the apartment. And then there are frantic calls. And then somebody has to come and turn off the taps and so on. So they asked us to build something which can detect if water is flowing in an apartment for an extended period of time. So there's some intelligence there, like in the morning, there might be somebody washing and things like the water may flow. But let's say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if there is a continuous water flow for 1 hour or so, maybe you can send an alert or a SMS saying, hey, there's something wrong. Now, there are other tricky aspects to it. For example, they won't want you to cut the pipes that are there. So you have to make something called a non-intrusive system, which can detect if water is flowing through a pipe. Now, there are solutions available which are ultrasound based. Unfortunately, most of these are Chinese products. And they can not only detect water flow, they can also detect how much water is flowing. And you can build a system which will send information to a central console where people can monitor and see if somebody has left the taps on. Okay, just a simple use case, but it is a real need and it is doable. Now, the reason we weren't able to deliver because we had some issues with our hardware, and plus the customer had a very tight timeline, so we could not finish it within the time. But these opportunities are there. For example, in Bangalore, I think in Bengal, water is not taxed, but suppose water starts to be taxed, then in a high rise, you want people to pay for that tax based on the consumption. And something like this can actually tell you who is consuming more water. Okay. So with that, two ideas, I say thank you once again. You can reach out to me if you have any ideas to discuss. I'll be more than happy to help, discuss, guide. But we do really want a lot of more entrepreneurs to come out of Bengal. It is time that, we put Bengal back on India's map again. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Atulji. Fantastic problem statements.
Thank you so much, Atul sir. I would like to connect with you on LinkedIn if possible, sir. My major project is in the field of IoT.
Sure.
Wow.
Anytime. Call me.
Thank you so much.
Whatever, no issues. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing us such great problem statements to work upon in the field of IoT. Our esteemed guests have provided great presentations and case studies on which I believe the participants will work upon and learn a lot. I deeply thank all the guests for the same. Now for crystallization of problem statements, I would like to invite Dr. Juideb Malik Datta ma'am, who has been closely associated with most of the activities of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Institutions Innovation Council, and she is also the current General Manager of Tagore Center for Green Technology Business Incubation, TCGTBI, IIC Shibpur. Ma'am, please.
Good evening, all of you. Please pardon me. Actually, I have some problem with my video system, so I have to clip it off. But thank you very much, all the resource persons. We have identified various problems which would be open to the students for their innovative solutions to the problems that the resource persons have mentioned here. So, sir, I would like to just, I was just trying to guide those problems, whatever I have identified from the presentations. Maybe somewhere I have not properly understood, So please, all of you can suggest me that whether some like rectification in the problem statement that I have jotted down here is required or not. So I'm just sharing the page. It is not fully completed because I was in the process of writing those problem statements. So just I'm sharing the page, and based on your suggestion, I can even incorporate the changes here. Right? Just a minute. Sir.
মাঝে মধ্যে ইচ্ছে করে
So can you see the page?
Yes, ma'am.
Make it a little larger.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yeah, you can make the view button. You can make it a little.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
So here, these are the problems that I have jotted down so far. There are some few more. Please go through it once so that you can just suggest me that whether any correction in these problem statements are required or not. Please tell me when I need to scroll it up. So these are the 10 problems I have identified so far. Please, you can suggest me that any other problem that I'm missing, maybe I have not included in the list, so that I can include it here.
I think that last problem statement from Atulji was on this monitoring of water flow in a building, which is a very real life problem for all of us. So basically, if taps are left open, if there is a system of identifying those in a non-intrusive manner by some sensors. I think that is a very interesting one.
It is also whether ACs are on and whether fire has started, everything.
Not able to hear you properly.
No, if even the fire starts sometimes and the
Yes.
Even you can include fire and electricity both. Abnormal use of.
Right. For the utilities, yeah.
Even gas is sometimes important.
Yes.
Gas leakage.
Absolutely. That's also a very live case.
in unmanned flats of high-rise complexes. Of high-rise complexes.
Madam, this last topic, this is also a very intriguing one because I have watched one episode on 60 Minutes, and there they have identified this Osama bin Laden by monitoring the electricity consumption of a house.
So what should be included here, sir?
No, it is Tanmay saying that yes, it is important because Osama bin Laden was identified like that.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm just scrolling it once again so that you can go through it once again and suggest me if any
You can go to the lower ones, Jui.
Okay.
You can go to the lower ones, yeah, from 6 onwards.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and the last 2.
Any more is there?
I think we will sort it out then. And all right.
Okay, then
Okay.
I'll just stop sharing.
All right.
Thank you so much, Joy ma'am, for crystallizing the problem statements. Now we have reached to the concluding part of this exciting session on achieving problem solution fit and product market fit. This evening has been filled with learnings and knowledge from various fields, starting from marketing to IoT, from autonomous vehicle drivings to real life problems from MSMEs. And we will end the program with vote of thanks. And for that, I would like to request the Vice President of Institutions Innovation Council, Professor Konika Das Bhattacharya, ma'am, to propose a vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Okay, so goodbye everyone, and I would say that it was very rejuvenating for us also, and I thank each one of you, the speakers. I do not want to call you again name by name, but I have got the constant support of Amitava and Sanjoy and also Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri in hosting this session and got all of you to participate. Our convener, Dr. Tanmay Pal, Jui Dotto, General Manager of the Incubation Center, and our few students, which includes Sachindra, and the others who are always ready to help. Now, the lesson I got today is you simply turn around and think in your own day-to-day life, and don't make yourself a rock. Make yourself permeable. Make yourself susceptible to what is happening around you, and you can come up and say Eureka. So this is what I got. See, the problems are there around us. We just need to identify them, give them the sharpening with our tool and imagination, and just float it to the entire world. So that is for today, and I hope that within 15 days we are able to get the POCs, or we need to talk about amongst our community how are we going to give them the hackathon, ideathon or hackathon, whatever it will be, and I think we can come up with solutions. And for the jury is required, we will invite you. And we also wish to work hand in hand with NASSCOM so that NASSCOM gives us the invitations for our boys to participate and our girls to participate, because they have been doing very well recently in the Tata Steel Awards. One of our girls have got the best prize. She became the first because they are proving your metal they had got, and one of our girls she became the winner. And now I want NASSCOM to give us this opportunity to participate in your hackathons. And thank you so much. We wish to work hand in hand. And I tell you today that we want some scopes for internships in your startups. For Amitava also, I also have the same thing. Let the boys work in startups. They get a real feeling of working with how it means to be an entrepreneur or what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So this is what I have to say today. And I thank all the administration, and I thank Dr. Subhashish Bhomik, who suddenly become unwell. I thank him. I thank our director, who has not been able to be present. Anyway, but let us keep this ecosystem alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Das. It's really been a pleasure, and I'm really hopeful that some of these problem statements would really entice and of course ignite some sort of passion in terms of trying to solve those, because some of them are really real life ones. And all the best. We're always with you. NASSCOM is with you. They can, as I mentioned, you can also participate. The students can also participate in the incubation programs that NASSCOM has. Sanjoy is one of the, Sanjoy and Atulda both are actually parts of the steering committee. So all of us are with you, and all the very best for the initiatives from the institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Wish you the best, all the students who participated, our faculty members, and our stakeholders, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to thank everyone for attending this session on achieving problem solution fit and product market fit, organized by IIC, EDC and TCGTBI. Thank you so much and good night.